Okay, we are now officially recording.
Hello, everyone. Welcome
Okay,
again. Nice
yes,
to see a new
welcome.
face.
Welcome to the bridge call. Welcome to the newcomers and the old timers and the experienced and the young souls, old souls, and the and people like me that just need a lot of hand holding.
It's
I
okay.
probably yeah. So yeah, welcome everybody. We're in for another ride, and
Mhm.
the biggest reasons now why we're coming together and why the name of our call, the bridge call, is so significant. It becomes more
Yeah,
significant over time, eh?
I
As
would
we're
agree.
bridging the gaps, and just constantly throwing out a lifeline. And did you see the most recent news
Yes, the bridge.
about the bridge?
Oh, the bridge. Yes.
And it's like, okay, come on. Like they're trying to dismantle things, but it's like really like just
It's
drive right into a bridge. So where was that again?
Maryland, wasn't it?
Baltimore.
Baltimore?
Yes,
Was it
Baltimore,
Baltimore?
Maryland. Yeah.
Maryland, yeah.
Oh my God. So there you go.
And someone was saying that it is exactly 3 years ago that the Suez Canal was jammed.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Apparently.
Hmm.
Okay, here it is. Oh yeah, Baltimore Bridge. Detonation.
I don't believe that.
Is that what they think? I thought a boat crashed into it. Isn't that the
A
story?
boat crashed into it, yeah, and it had power failure, but why?
Yeah. Oh, I
People
see.
are saying, oh, you can see detonation charges going off. I've looked at it and all I see are lights on the top of that bridge. I don't think it was, but who knows? Who knows? I'm
Right.
just watching and I'm absorbing. That's it. Maybe it was.
That's
Very.
right. You just gotta, get your popcorn,
Yeah,
watch the
that's it.
Well,
movie.
That's
this
it.
bridge is still working
Right. So,
right here.
as I was saying, right, our bridge is still fully intact
Yeah.
and a lifeline. It's like bridge slash lifeline.
Yes,
So important to come together
it
and
is.
know that you're not the only one out there. I was talking to another friend yesterday and I'm like, hey, how's it going? She goes, oh, how's it going? I said, well, it's been an emotional ride. She goes, well, you just caught me. I was just crying and I just stopped crying. And I'm like,
You too.
listen, we're all going through it. We're all going through it. So you're right on schedule. And it's so bizarre because like I don't know, I've been doing transformational work for like 30 years, right? And there's been times in my 30 years where it was intense and did a lot of work and released a lot of trauma. But you're thinking it's supposed to get easier and easier, right? And but I don't
Surprise.
know, the last couple of weeks, I'm just like, wow, it's intense.
Hmm.
And I think this one that just came up,
Hmm.
like, so the course that we're in with Z Earth Star, okay? So the
Hmm.
week prior, she was talking about your queendom come, meaning the woman queen inside of you, okay? Now, I also want to address this to the men in the crowd because we all have male, female, masculine, feminine in all of us. And then you have your lineages, and then you also have all your past lives. So, how many times were you a woman? How many times were you a man? So, just because, oh, I don't have to listen to this queendom come conversation. Okay. And there's a lot of women that are very masculine and like all flipped around. Okay. No. And so the whole journey is to balance it out. It's just get balanced, right? Because when we're overcompensating in one, the other one, like, so the masculine now, so this week was about the kingdom come.
Okay.
So, did a lot of work in that department. And then the woman that we were just hearing, who does the sound bowls and her voice and stuff. So Z Erstar also does voice meditation releasing. And in the masculine, okay, if you're a female in this world and you didn't have the proper masculine role, you either going to lack in a lot of it, which never mind, you do lack a lot in what a proper functional male role would be able to give you, would be able to, you know, offer you and guide you and teach you and nurture and help you grow up with all the male characteristics so that you can go out and use those to your advantage. And then there's the women like single moms or, you know, all different scenarios where they've had to pour on male domination, independence, do it all, build the house, bring the bread, you know, go out and work full time, raise the kids, and be both. So it creates a massive oil spill. So it happens, okay. And so I'm going through this meditation 2 days ago, and it's just talking about how not only in this life, but think about it, not only in this life, okay, because there's many times where you were a man and you were the dominator, you were the abuser, you were, and this is in the cellular memory, you know, moving forward. And then you could come into this life as a female and all of a sudden have these like aggressive behaviors. And it's like, why am I being so aggressive? And not understand why, right? So then I was going through the meditation, then I realized, you know, my father, alcoholic, I don't know how many homes we were in, missing in action for many years. And then I'm told by a lot of my relatives, oh, you look just like your father. You remind me so much of your father, your father, your father. I haven't seen my dad in 8 years. I'm like, really? Like, can somebody tell me, right? It's like, how do you see or feel this when I've not even seen the guy, right? So there was a lot of lack. So what I didn't get was the support, the guidance, the trusting in myself, the teachings, the boundaries, how to have boundaries for myself, how to have respect for myself. There was a lot of things that was not given to me, okay, that I had to learn through hard knocks. And then that is like a big freaking waste of time. Okay, if you could just like hand me that in the beginning, like we could have saved all this bullshit. Okay. So that's what came up. I was like, oh my God. And then all this anger came up around it all. And I'm like, wow. Then you start looking at the sea of not only women that have like a lack in their toolbox for, you know, that all the males, a very healthy male could have provided. So now you're seeing all the women, and look at all the religions and all the, you know, the different nationalities and all their beliefs and how, and all their beliefs around men and women and how everybody should be. And you're just looking out at the sea of this and you're like, oh my God. Or how's this one too? Like, and you know, they've worked very hard to continually suppress the woman, dominate and all this stuff. And now we have like grown men like competing in girls swimming. Like, and they're just continually doing it and putting it in our faces and like getting away with it, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just an indication of how far off the beam we got
Yeah.
and how dysfunctional it got. So, you know, here we are, we've lived like 50, 60, 70 years of without that characteristic intact, without the natural healthy trust, boundaries, respect, how to go out and, you know, and go after your goals, go after your dreams, like you know, going out and do your bidding and come back and be successful. And it's not that women can't do it, but there's so much overcompensating, right? To not only do that, but then, well, we don't have time to be creative and nurturing, and it's like self-care. What is that? Right? And the cool thing about my partner who passed away, I was so like independent, working in a male environment, providing for my, you know, my son, single mom. And so I meet this guy who's way out on this field. He's like the big provider. He marries you immediately. He takes care of everything, blah, blah, blah. So here we are like, I don't think so. You got the wrong girl. I didn't need you. I don't need you. I'll never need you.
Oops. How did
And
that
he's
work?
like, she obviously doesn't understand what's happening. So the ordeal, the breaking it down, the understanding how we got here, and when we did meet, we did know that we were meant to serve each other, which was the most beautiful part of our relationship, right? Because we knew we came into each other's lives for a reason and to serve each other. Now, let the games begin, right? And it was like one day we went out, we were on a date, and I had to get a babysitter. And he was like, we get back, and he's going to pay the babysitter. I'm like, no, 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 you don't pay the babysitter. He goes, fight about who's going to pay the babysitter. So I had to learn to calm down, and he had to learn how to calm down. And then we both came together. And then it was the most beautiful thing when you are with a more healthy male, you get to be more of a healthy female. And there was all these things that I was experiencing that I never had access to before. Right. And I was like, wow, like I don't have to be like assertive or aggressive or on top of it or game on or, you know, always alert, or I could relax like somebody had my back. And they took care of like a big 50-60% of my energy that I didn't have to. So I got to experience it. And it was, believe me, it was like really nice. You know, and then I brought, you know, nurturing. I brought all this female stuff that, you know, just like I didn't even know her. I didn't even know who she was. I didn't even know I was capable of all this because I was extremely competitive. Like I worked in a man's plant. So that was a really beautiful thing. So now what came up just a couple of days ago is just, I don't know, like I guess another layer of, you know, what was lacking when I was a child, what I didn't get when I was a child. Not only me, like, you know, I'm just seeing this sea. And then for men, okay, there's a bunch of men that didn't have a healthy father relationship too. So then that throws the whole thing out of whack. And then, you know, and then when there's all these things, you don't trust yourself, you're doubting yourself, being irresponsible or needy or too independent, or like everything is extreme, right? Not a go-getter, just too passive, or just so many things. That is because men come with specific traits, women come with specific traits. So all this stuff came up the other day, and of course I went down and it was a mess.
You came back. Good.
And today I'm like, okay, I could do this. But if you think about, you know, your mother and father and how healthy they were and how functional they were and how nurturing and how they were so there with support, guidance, and love.
What family are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
You know, that
Are you
leave it to
reading
Beaver.
fairy tales here?
Right. So think about your parents and how much was not in place, right? And then what you've had to do to overcompensate. And you had to sort it out, and you don't know why you're like butting heads with this person, and you have no idea that your thing is all out of whack. So, and then theirs is all out of whack too, right? Because like 90% of the population, like who had even Leave It to Beaver, I mean, they were the most dysfunctional family in Hollywood. Right with you know, what was the other one with the 8 kids and the Partridge Family? I mean, they were the most dysfunctional families. I
The
mean, they
Brady
all
Bunch.
ended the Brady Bunch. They all
Yeah.
ended
Brady
up like
Bunch.
drug addicts and
Ended up,
you know,
yeah.
overdoses and God knows what, right? Because it was nonsense. Or and the other one too with the little girl. He adopted the 2 kids,
Don't remember
the
that
little
one.
black boy and the white girl.
Oh, did this guy have a beard?
Oh,
Father?
yeah.
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah, big
Very
fella.
dysfunctional. It was like these
yes.
2 kids, like really bad. And of course,
My Three Sons. There's a whole bunch of shows.
and the black guy, the doctor, the black guy who's now in jail for
Oh,
I don't know which one you mean.
um the comedian. He
Cosby.
did yeah, that's it.
Cosby?
Right?
yeah,
Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
I didn't
Bill
think he was
Cosby.
in jail, or is he?
I think
Oh,
he
okay.
got jail time, yeah. So anyways,
Oh, okay,
here was
yeah.
our role models on TV, right? And the whole thing was just a sham. So there's so much dysfunction
Yeah.
in the background. So anyways, I'm just saying, if you look at your life and it's like, wow, okay, so what does a healthy male role model actually look like, sound like, feel like, provide, you
Mhm.
know? And I know that a male role model or your father is supposed to be the one that has your back, that supports you,
Mhm.
that teaches you all kinds of different things about the world, about finances, about how to, you know, construct a
Okay.
household, or so many things. So many things, right? So when that's missing, like what are you going on? So
Yeah,
this
typical
is
guy.
all this is all the stuff that's coming up now. So when we don't let this up, it manifests in our body as dis-ease, dysfunction. We even our behaviors, even our emotions are all out of whack, right? Because you can have disease in the body, but you can also have disease in your thought patterns,
Emotions.
in your emotions, right? Or your
Yeah.
reactions. Yeah, so I believe the masculine and feminine, and it's been at war for so long, okay? And it's been so segregated
I
for
agree.
so long. And now what's happening, and I've been listening to quite a bit of things on YouTube where like big native tribes are doing a lot of work in the background to bring the masculine and feminine together, because this is where we're heading and becoming one. And it's not only becoming one with you and me, is becoming one with your own masculine and feminine within. Okay. So here's an example of how it would be. Like you see a bird flying in the air. So the bird has 2 wings. So that's your masculine and feminine. You ever see a bird flying with 1 wing?
Not really.
It's not happening. So when you picture a bird, it's like picture the masculine and feminine having that bird fly.
And
That's why,
balance.
and they're
Mhm.
balanced.
Right.
Okay. I'm just full of analogies tonight. So, and then what is happening now too is, of course, the condor, the eagle, the hummingbird, and there was one other bird, I can never pronounce it, but all four of them are coming together. And these birds represent the masculine and the feminine on all four corners of the planet. And this is what's happening globally. Okay. So it was asked earlier, like, well, I thought these solar flares were full of light and, and it's a good thing. It is a good thing if your container, your suit, your body can withstand the fire hose that's coming at us, right? But if you're loaded with, and if you don't have guidance, if you didn't have guidance, if you didn't have trust, if you didn't have support and respect and boundaries and stuff, what do you have? Right? What twistedness do you have? Okay, well, all that twistedness has to untwist and release, because it's not the blueprint. It's not our natural state.
No, it isn't.
Been living in twistedness, overcompensating, lacking, and this is what's coming to an end. And this is
You're right.
so for me, I was like, okay, picture the bird flying.
Mhm.
I am the bird. I have masculine and feminine completely balanced, and I'm just flying with the air. And how smooth, like when you see them flying, they're like, woo, look at that.
Mhm.
So I believe that would be a good goal, or a good being conscious of where are you out? Where have you overcompensated? What are you needing?
Mhm.
Now here's another twist. And this one was really like, because your first parents as a child is like, they're like your gods.
Mhm.
Okay. They're your everything. Okay. They're your like food, they are your water, they are your nurturing, and so this relationship with these, mini gods actually create your connection and relationship to a power greater than yourself, to God, to whatever you call universal source, whatever you call it. So if there is dysfunction within yourself, and no fault of yours, but you're 100% responsible now. I know the good news and the bad news, but everything has a black and white. So how is that affecting your relationship with your power greater than you as well? And this was another thing that came up for me once all the anger came up. I went, so because, God has been pushed down on us as a male role model. So it's now, mother, father, God. So we're almost getting our heads around mother, father, God versus he, and father figure. Yes, father figure, but mother, father, God, balanced. So what is out? How well do you trust? How much do you doubt that this source that loves you unconditionally without nothing, they don't even know that there's nothing outside of you, according to this God is looking at you like there's nothing outside of you. It's all you, loves you, like you're the best creation on the planet. Okay, so can you get that into the container? It's like, okay, like, so there's a lot to dismantle. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to clear, to to be able to move into the higher levels.
That's for sure.
I know. This was a heavy week. It's only Wednesday. So, what does anybody have to say about any of that? Danny, what do you think about all that?
Well, I agree 100%. You guys might not know this. I don't know if I ever told you, Lucie. It's in the prophecies. It's just centuries old that there would be a time coming where the energies of North America would join the energies of South America. So the energies of the North America is considered the masculine, the energy of the eagle. South America is considered the feminine, the energy of the condor. So about 9 or 10 years ago, a shaman from Peru was guided to come to North America to do that ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. His name is Jamie Alvarez. I met him. Of all the places to come to in North America, I came to Peterborough. And so there's a native community just north of Peterborough, right near the petroglyphs, that he stayed there, and I met him. And so he made arrangements with the shaman on Curve Lake to do the ceremony together on the rocks of the petroglyphs. Okay. So, and then he went back home to Queco. I don't know how you pronounce that in Peru. The city, Queco, Caraco, something like that.
Mm.
Anyway, well, that was really interesting. So we didn't hear anything for almost 2 months. I get a phone call. I said, Danny, the ceremony's on tonight. You need to be there. I went and witnessed it. So they were on the rocks, and there was about 7 or 8 natives and 7 or 8 light workers, roughly 15 of us. So the 2 shaman got on the rocks, and they were doing the breath work and waving their wings. And when Jamie waved the condor wing, which is like, it's a massive wing, whipping it through the air, you should have heard the sound.
Mm.
So they were anchoring those 2 energies of masculine and feminine, because it's in the prophecies that the energies need to be balanced and they need to be connected.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a huge ceremony for North and South America. And I was just honored to be there for that ceremony.
Wow.
And so that energy is started, I'm guessing it was around 9 years ago. So now we have to do it as a collective,
Mm-hmm.
singly and collectively, right? And so we do need to get that balance with the masculine and the feminine, because the right side being the masculine is a little too analytical. It's still a little cold. It's all about building, where the feminine is all about the caring energies, the psychic energies, all of this. And we need to blend those 2 together. And for some people, I'm sure it's going to be difficult. How are they going to do it? I don't know. Maybe on a soul level. But yes, I've known for some time, this is the time where the feminine has to come back. It's been downtrodden for centuries. Look at the Middle East. The women there have to be covered. They're not allowed to go to university. They're not allowed to drive a car. Look how they're subjugated, the women in the Middle East. It's horrendous, right? And even in North America, it's only been maybe since the 60s, since women's lib or whatever phrase you want to give it, that women started to work in the workforce, right? They got more equality with man and jobs. Mind you, they had to fight for equal wages, didn't they? Wasn't given to women at the beginning. They weren't making as much as men unless you were in a union set up, right? So yeah, this is a great time. I think this is a great subject to bring up at this time, because these energies need to be back in balance, right? They were so far off before, and it's really the age of the divine feminine coming in. I really feel that. I know a few women who they are here to bring that divine feminine back, right? And it's not to be so powerful as to overcome the male, it's to be the equal, right? It's all about being the equal and working together. Yes, we have our differences. We look at life differently. We have different thoughts and feelings, but to bring them together so they work together as one, right? How are we as a collective going to rise up if we're all, I'm better than you, you're, all of this friction, right?
Yeah.
So I know it's happening, and it's happening big time. So this is a very good time. These energies, whether you want to call it the full moon and all these eclipses, is just accentuating it because some of you are having to deal with it, right? But can I imagine it's on a global scale? It's on a global scale.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so who knows the next, 11 days from now, what's that going to bring? We can talk a bit about that too. Yeah, so this is a wonderful time in history because the women have all been so suppressed and didn't have a voice. They weren't even allowed to vote till, was it 1910? Something like that, 1920? Woman wasn't even allowed to vote. They were thought of as second-class citizens. The mother
Yeah.
that stays home with the child, right? And that's all they were good there for, making babies, right?
And
And so,
another thing too, what's happening in our generation now too, is we're the generation that has gone through the most change in the least amount of time,
yep,
which is another like,
mind blower.
yeah, it's like, holy shit. Like, I mean, when
Right.
we were kids, we were running in and out of each other's houses, like all the doors were open,
Yeah,
you
no
know,
locks.
and playing at the creek and stuff, where everything we did now, I mean, there's so much laws and regulations, like we're not allowed to do all that. And that was the funny part about being in Costa Rica, because it was like 50 years behind and we're all doing this stuff where like
Um,
we're not allowed to do here anymore. So it
mm,
was like hilarious.
I guess.
Like all being
Yep.
in the back of a pickup truck and like heading down to the waterfall.
No seat belts. Who
Oh
cares?
man. No. So um
Yeah, so I feel it's compressed. I feel this compression where with time speeding up, that we got to
oh
sort
yeah.
all this stuff in one lifetime.
Yeah.
And the last couple of years it's just been, oh, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's another thing.
it's just,
Hurry up, relax, and hurry up.
yes. And so for those that still have stuff to deal with, yeah, there's going to be a lot of anger, resentment, all this stuff,
Yeah.
crying, all of this. But it's
So
all good.
the the whole process is when you're bringing masculine and feminine together and connecting as one. Okay, it's also like another form of love of self. Okay, and when you are able to let go of the angers, the resentments, the guilts and the shames of how you didn't do it right, and look what they've done to me. When you're, in those two, hang on a second here. When you're caught up in those two timelines, when you're able to finally
Mhm.
release them, um, then you're able to get neutral, because all your thoughts and judges and all that, there's just stories about it. It's just stories about it. And the story happened like 20, 30, 40 years ago. And you've been playing this record
Over and over.
over and over and over. Like it's got massive grooves in it. Like the needle can't even jump off anymore. Like it can't even play to the next song. So it's about releasing a lot of that. Now, of course, there's layers, and like I said, it's coming
Yeah.
at us like a fire hose, but you're only going to be able to release. So there is where the compassion comes in. And like I said, relax into it. And I was like, the other day I was not even functional, and I'm like, how the heck am I supposed to work? I have to make phone calls, I can't even, like, blah blah blah. It's like, it's all gonna be okay. How can it be okay?
Let go.
fighting with myself. And this is the thing that it's like, I know it's all going to be okay, but how is it going to be okay? So,
Mhm.
it's about really trusting that, like, whatever process you're in, whatever you're going through, you're right on schedule. But the whole idea is coming to one. So how do you come to one? Is letting go of, what happened to me, and oh my God, look what I did to other people and to myself, because you were in each scenario, each
Yeah.
incident in your life, you were there. So you were getting hit and you were also dishing out. So forgive
No,
yourself.
that's the big one.
Forgive yourself, and then bring in the love. Now, when we're able to bring in the love, that's where the healing comes in. Okay. And that's where the overreacting goes. That's where the pain in the body goes. It releases. So it's like there's no other way but that way. You know what I'm saying? So you can go do all the self-helps and stuff. I mean, outside information works, helps, but in the end, you know, and I think the best tool is to journal, right? When
Good.
something comes up, it's like, boom, put that on paper and just
Release it.
drill it down and find out what else is there. So
Agreed.
just and also if you really really understood how hard it's been for you to get this far, you would give yourself a break. Okay, like,
Come back.
we're living it like one day, one day, one day, but I mean, we carry 20, 30 years of being tired. We're like, I give up or whatever. That's what's tiring. That's what's exhausting. That's what's slowing your speed.
Growth.
Yeah, your growth up is all the stories. So, um, if you only understood the storm that you've come out of, that you're coming out of, if you only understood how big this frickin' thing was, you would
Really?
be like, holy shit, I can't believe I'm still alive. Okay, now there's a lot of people, like in the last year and in the next few years, it's they're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to process it. And I don't know, maybe people on this call, who knows, right? I mean, I've had a lot of friends like leave, and I'm pretty shocked, actually. But so I guess it doesn't matter whether you have dis-ease or whether you're as healthy as ever.
Mhm.
It's not about that. So, just basically what I'm saying is give yourself a break. And one thing that really needs to go as well is to stop criticizing yourself as to where you're at and what you don't have and what you didn't accomplish and what's not working. You got to really stop, lay down that weapon, lay down that tool that you're using to beat yourself up with the criticism, lay your criticism weapon down and start appreciating yourself. Okay. So appreciation, like I said, if you only knew, it's like the Red Sea has been parted. Okay. You've got like hundreds and hundreds of feet of water walls.
Mhm.
Okay. And, he's saying, I've just parted the sea for you. Now walk through. Like, what are you going to like do? Are you going to stand there and like stare at these walls of water and the ground is dry? There's no fish or octopus or anything. Like, are you literally going to walk through? Would you be one of the ones to walk through and trust that this whole thing is
Trust.
not going to come in on you? Like, this
That's
is the
right.
stuff that we've come through. Okay, it's crazy like that. I mean, we think, oh, what are you talking about? I mean, it wasn't that bad, but
Yes, it was.
There was so much energetic stuff happening that we had no clue. Okay. And everything is getting revealed too. So just wait. You're gonna know. You're like, holy shit, I actually like survived that. So
That's right.
let go of the criticism. You are a miracle. You are magnificent. You are amazing. Like you made it this far. I mean, yeah, you've got some more wounds. It's like, okay, but I mean, we all do in one way or another. So it's just a matter of like just giving yourself a break and appreciating the fact that you are here, you're fully intact, you have a mind, you have a heart, you have like, you know, compassion, you have all this. They may be small amounts, but you can actually increase them. Okay. And just spend more time doing that versus beating yourself up for what you don't have. All right. So that's my 2 cents.
Well, it was very good. Anybody else have a comment on all of this?
Yeah.
Amazing. Just amazing. Really.
We are amazing. All of
You know,
us.
yes, what you said is just, I mean, nobody has ever come as the way you did. I mean, wow. It was quite an eye opener for me because I've beat myself up most of my life. I've just been so hard on myself. And yeah, I don't
Can you
have,
forgive yourself for that, Minnow?
yeah. Mhm.
Can you do that?
Well, today's the first day of, you know, trying it on. You got
Yeah.
nothing to lose but your misery. I mean, we can always refund your misery if it doesn't work out, but you can
Yeah,
just like, you know
really.
what? I surrendered
A rain
today.
check. Here you go.
Mm-hmm. Try
Thank
it for
you.
a week. If it doesn't work, you know, you can always pick up your misery on the way out.
Thank you so much.
All right. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. I'm
Mhm.
glad, you know, because it's my own advice that I have to say to myself. It's the only, like a lot of things that I spew out, I'm like, that was good, Lucy. You should try that on. Like you should see how that was working for you.
Listen to your own advice.
Yeah, I have to take my own advice, right? It's like, are you even integrating this or are you just talking it? Like, all right, Roxana, you had your hand up. I don't see you out here.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Danny that procedure that was done by the South American in Toronto or in your area.
Peterborough,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
did it help us anyways?
Yeah, because you have to know energetically what it did to the planet. I mean, look at the two massive continents and how many people are in. I think there's Canada, US is what, 350 million? And I would think South America, including Middle America, is another 350. It affected 700 million people. Think of it on the whole picture, right?
So what did
You
it
know,
do?
it was just, it blended back that dysfunctional energies of the masculine and the feminine and brought them back together again.
So
Very powerful
here's an
ceremony.
example of how it looked on the planet as a result of that is remember, I think it was last year where a lot of the kids' graves were found, the native kids.
Right.
Do you remember that, Roxana?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So what happens globally within the native communities, the North and South, East and West, they literally came together over that.
Okay.
And it was so powerful. And when I saw that hit, like, I don't know how I got it. I don't know if it hit the news or whatever, but for me, what happened is I was in Costa Rica when it happened, and I got such a rush of energy. Then I realized that in another life, my purpose was to bring the East and the West together. And then when it happened over those kids, the energy that shot through me, I just started crying, and I was like, oh my God, we're coming together. And then another friend of mine's, I had her go see Alan Green. And then he ended up telling her, you know, Lucie's purpose in another life, and now she's able to bring it forth in this life, was to bring the East and the West together.
Wow.
And then I felt the energy like a week prior, and then she came and told me her reading about how I came up in the reading, and that's what I was told. And then when she said it to me, I relived the energy all over again. I was crying again because it was such a victory for me. And that was over the kids. And they say 250. There's not 250. There's 50,000. Okay. They're not telling me the truth, but I know the truth. And it was like I've lived many of those lifetimes. So that was a huge win of it all coming together. And because there was so much separation, even in the tribes.
Yeah.
And that should have never have happened, right? But it was so strong. And then all the girls that go missing, all the women that go missing from the reserves. So that's what happened. And that was a huge, and it was like globally. And then just recently in Mexico, they had a huge event with many native tribes from all different corners of the planet doing another ceremony on masculine and feminine. So they're really ramping it up. Yeah.
Good.
So whether you like it or not, so that's the fire hose coming at you.
It's a good fire hose.
It is. I mean, it's good, but you're like, well, what do I got to deal with that for? What's the big deal? No. Like, we're just so distorted. Like, we have no idea what is even good for us, half the time. I'm like, okay, fine. I mean, yesterday, yeah, I was in the midst of this breakdown, and then somebody said, oh, Lucie, I'm going to set you up with so-and-so. And I'm thinking, oh my God, stop setting me up with all these people. Like, what are you doing? Because it was embarrassing and all this. And then next thing I went, oh, and then they go, okay, I talked to her and she said, da-da-da-da, you got to call her. And I'm like, oh my God. So I just
Too
went,
much.
just Lucie, lay your weapons down, put your ego aside and just call her. Like, so I end up calling her. I end up getting together with her last night. It was really incredible. It shifted me. And
Good.
today I was like, okay.
You can do it.
So, you know what? I don't know what's good for me. Like how it's showing up is embarrassing. Resistance. What are you doing? Trying to expose. And it ended up being the best thing. So what do I know? Okay.
Just allow.
But I feel like things are getting very personal. It's really making
A lot of drama out
people
there.
don't seem to have common sense anymore. There's no
I would
logic.
have to agree with you.
It's just out the window.
They're letting their emotions take over, sad.
Yeah, the emotions. And that's what almost had me not take the hand that was being reached out to me, and I was just like, my emotions were like, ah. And I'm like, oh my God, Lucie, like just stop being a 2-year-old right now and just take the hand, and who knows, maybe this is the next bridge.
And it was.
So thank God I had enough sense. So anyways,
I just got the hot dogs festival brochure. They have a beautiful documentaries from all over the world. And so many are about women. Just gone through few of them. They all were pointing to like women's issues.
Yeah. Because as the women rise, as the women energy rises, it also helps balance the male.
Yep.
Because the male has been it's just too tilted, right? So now it's like, it's now going to help balance. Now, is it going to be smooth?
Probably not.
Like, they'll probably act the same way I acted yesterday. It's like, no, what are you doing?
Stop fighting it.
Yeah, it's like, okay. But there are a lot of men that go, are you kidding me? The women know what's going on. Like, just follow the women. Right? And it's following women that have balance, not like psychos. So, did you want to, is anybody want to share anything? I was just wondering, before,
Anybody else?
yeah, Danny, so I was thinking of if you wanted to channel something about,
Yeah, they've been talking to me.
I know, I feel
Just wanted to ask, what was the name of the guy from Peru?
Jamie Alvarez.
Jamie Alvarez. Okay. I mean, I knew about the condor and eagle, but I didn't know about the ceremony.
and Sasha Stone just had a interview with a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want
Sasha
to,
Stone?
Sasha Stone,
Okay.
he just did a big ceremony with quite a few natives as well on that.
Well, the shaman have lots of work to do in this lifetime.
Mm.
Yeah.
Lots of work to do.
I did a lot of Native American, lot of groups, rituals and stuff. And I picked the name Many Waters because they let us choose a name.
Oh,
And that's what came to me.
Beautiful.
And
good.
guess what I do? I go to water every day.
There
So
you go.
it came true.
Many
So
waters.
you're about moving the waters.
Yeah.
That's a big job.
Certainly is.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And thank you for taking that on. As
Yep.
we speak about the fire hose, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, water is a really, really important element. So,
And
Huge.
it's emotions.
It's emotions, right?
I have to deal a lot with a lot of my emotions.
yeah. So
Well,
go with the river flow, go with the flow. Don't go upstream.
Right.
Manon, do you swim? Is that where you go to the waters, or are you?
No, I exercise so that I'm flexible. I have less pain.
Okay, good.
Stretch. I don't swim. I
Okay,
just stand and
enjoy.
move the parts. Yeah.
Well,
Good.
that's awesome. So, in the
Very good.
summertime, when you're in the lakes or the oceans, there's a lot of crystal energies going on in the waters as well. They have been for the last few years. So they're going to ramp up, and there's a lot of healing crystals in the waters now.
Well, the
I
pool
haven't heard
has
that.
got a lot of chlorine, but it still is very healing
Right.
to
Yeah.
me.
Ask the
Water is
water to
very
heal.
healing.
The significance, yeah, the significance of the water.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. So anyone else? We got a few more minutes.
Anybody?
All right. Trevor, hold your peace.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do a few minutes of channeling. I know it's a few minutes, I mean like 10 minutes.
Whatever comes up.
Yeah, so if you want to.
It's all our ancestors are here. They have a message for us. And really, we are some of the ancestors from our past lives,
Yeah.
right? So, okay, let's get grounded here.
So let's all sync our energy up with this to maybe receive your own personal messages.
Mhm. We call on the Christ consciousness at this time. We call on Father, Mother, Creator, God at this time to bathe all of us here in your energies of light, your energies of love, your energies of healing here today. We wish to expand what we know, what we are about on this planet. We ask that you assist us here at this moment in time as we are going through the great changes this time in history. We thank you for all the guidance that you give us and all the information at this time that we need to move forward, as we understand we have to do the work. But we welcome all the guidance and the love on this journey here today. Thank you for being with us today at this moment. We are the ancient ancestors of this planet. We have all come together here at this time. We hear and feel your energies. We see what you're going through. We feel what you're going through. We wanted to share with you the journey that you have taken on in this lifetime. This is a very important lifetime that all of you decided to come here and experience. We are all watching you with great anticipation for the work that you are doing on this planet and at this exact time in history. You may think many of you are not doing much, but just your presence here on the planet and the light that you carry is so needed in this change and this shift that is happening on the planet. You are to be patted on the back, so to speak, for the work that you've done. And as you spoke earlier, of all the challenges and difficulties you've had to go through in this lifetime, that you are still here, you're still moving forward, you're still on your journey here. We are surround you at all times. You may not feel our presence, but we come here from many nationalities, not just a native community, but from the European community, from the African communities, from all different races. We are all here with you, holding your hand, so to speak, as we watch it unfold because of the work that you are all doing. We have so much love for you at this time. We have so much joy to watch you move forward in this lifetime. For this is the lifetime of great change. This is the lifetime of prophecy, as Danny spoke about earlier with the merging of the continents. We are all here behind you 100%. We are here giving you the guidance that you may be needing, but we also bring this energy of love with us for all of you here on this planet at this time. For many of you are going through your difficult times, and we understand that it can be very trying. But we are here holding your hand, so to speak, and we are all here to work together as a collective. And this collective is not just who's here on the planet at this time, it's all those from past thousands of years are also here with you and assisting you in uplifting the vibration of this planet, but in healing this planet of all the atrocities and traumas that we've all experienced for thousands of years on this planet. It is all being purged at this time on your planet. And much of this purging is coming through you, the light worker. You are doing so much work. You feel that you may be challenged yourself, that it is all about your childhood and what went through in your marriages and all of this, but it's far greater than you can imagine. You are taking on all that from past, from all the centuries of this energy. And it's all about healing and getting back the balance that we need on this planet at this time. So we are all here with you and assisting you in this uplifting of that vibration on the planet, to let go of all our darkness, let go of all our fears, and to trust and have faith in spirit, in our Creator at this time. For this is the time of change. This is it. We've been waiting thousands of years for this time in history, and this is it. So understand that you are the warriors, you are the light bearers, and you're bringing all those energies to the planet. As you stand in your power, as you stand in your faith, you are doing the greatest work ever on this planet. You may not realize that. And the heavens are also watching all of you, let alone the angelic realms and the ascended masters. And all the heavens eyes are on you, for you are the foot soldiers. You are bringing this energy and anchoring it here on this planet at this time. You are the ones that you've been waiting for. This is a monumental time on this planet. And we applaud you for the work that you're doing, that you're plowing forward, that you're doing the work. Yes, it's difficult. We really understand that. But you have the strength within you to do this. You're here already. You made it this far. You can make it a little further. This precipice that we're on is now going to go downhill very soon. We're going to break through all of this darkness on this planet, this control system that's been put on us here on this planet. Is all reversing. It's all flipping. And you are part of it. As a collective, you desire change. You do not want this old system anymore. And with your energy of light and your energy that you carry of source energy, this is the change that is coming here to this planet. We have so much faith in you. We have so much love for you, for what you're doing. We wish to let you know that we are here with you all the way. Stay strong, stay in faith, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, for all of this will end soon enough. Stay the course, stay the course. We're right here with you the entire way. We wish to leave this with you and understand that you are not alone. Many of us are here with you at this time. Take care, live in your hearts, and know that your future is bright. And the celebration time is coming soon enough. We wish to leave you with this in love. Namaste. I don't know if you felt that energy.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you, Danny. The message is really strong, and I just felt very personal. I went through a lot last 3 weeks, but the message was good. It just it's very clear and it's very profound. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, it's an honor just to be the channel. The energy is still so strong. Whew.
Mm.
There is so much love there.
Mm.
I could see all the different races. They were all here. Black, white, Chinese, European. And many of them are us.
Mhm.
right? Okay, I'll be okay.
You got a fire hose of love.
Oh, they soaked me. They soaked me.
Oh, thank you so much, Danny, for being who you are and being able to do what you do and bring and for us.
I've been waiting years to do this. As you know, I bought this over 4 or 5 years ago to do exactly this. So the timing just wasn't right till you and I got together, Lucie. This was the bridge, right? And I love doing this, and I love talking to all of you and assisting you. And does anybody have any comments?
It's good,
Yes,
very helpful.
thank you, and very powerful,
you.
yeah.
You know, I've known for some time that we are so surrounded, you know, because I've sensed them the odd time I can see them. But to have them all come together here, you know, as one and speak to us, that's really encouraging, right? It's really encouraging. You know, because sometimes we lose the fact, we feel we're all alone. I got to do this all by myself. If you only could see all the beings around you at all times, you're never alone. None of us are. We're
Mhm.
surrounded by all these spirit guides, by all these angels and all the ancestors. They're all here, right here beside us, assisting us, holding our hand and going, you can do it. You can do it.
But sometimes, especially like us, not the strong feeling, well, when faced with emotions, sometimes, well, think,
Mhm.
It is tough.
nobody hug me, nobody to talk to, something
Oh,
like,
well, we can talk here every week, right? We can share here every
yes,
week.
it's really helpful.
Good. I am so glad that all of you really appreciate this. This is a beautiful, this is not the Lucie and Danny show. This is our show.
Yeah.
We're just, you know, helping the guidance and bringing in some energies and
Yeah, and have pen and paper on hand at all times. Because that's going to be your mighty talker right there.
journaling.
Journaling, yeah.
Oh, very powerful journaling.
Yeah.
Very powerful journaling.
So I was thinking of putting on Earth Star for a few minutes to close out. Did you want
Please
to?
do.
Okay.
Mhm.
I can just get her. There we go. So I just want to sit back and relax, and I'm going to close it out in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Take a nice, long, steady breath into your body. Almost like every cell is a rose flower spiraling open. Feel the sound vibrations like a gentle rainstorm. Beginning to purify our body and our consciousness. As these sound vibrations are awakening the vibration of the original divine mother intelligence, our true innocence and home as a woman, full of beauty, radiance, innocence, holiness. Allowing this cellular remembrance of the divine feminine awaken within your body and your field. And almost like we're absorbing this vibration like a spiritual food, allowing all of the pain, distortions, confusion, falsehood, overlays of womanhood to just melt away.
There you have it, everyone. So we will see you next week. Have a good long weekend.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye. Bye.